Today's sponsor is Mophie, and Mophie loves you. To find out more, go to Mophie.com. That's Mophie.com.
I'm sorry, but just
light.
I'm
That's
such
okay.
an engineer that I'm like. That's what I hear doctors tell me. Like,
And I'll try not to. I'll
That's good.
try not to squeak my chair because these chairs are squeaky.
Right. All right. So you tell me when you want me to.
All right, so let's do it. Joining us today, I'm very, very excited and honored to have Duncan Sheik. Duncan, we run into each other all over town,
In all the various
stores.
guitar stores.
The sickness that we have.
This weird fetishization.
Only guitarists understand.
That it's better than some other fetishes. Though. For you, I wanna sing a happier song. For you, I'm gonna try to right all my wrongs. For you, I'm gonna break my bad habits. There's a golden ring and I want you to have it. There's a golden ring and I want you. For you, I'm gonna sit and patiently wait. It's great if you're early, but it's fine if you're late. For you, I feel love and I just wanna show it. You're a beautiful girl and I want you to know it. You're a beautiful girl and I want you to know it. You're a beautiful girl and I want you to know it. It's an infinite world and I want you. Once again, well, I am open. Once again, well, I am open. For you, I'm waiting on the ticket line. Gotta get back, I don't wanna waste time. But the people are tired and the line, it's so long. So all I can do is sing this song.
Really, this has been a very long journey. I mean, people look at the success of anything,
Yeah.
whether it's a recorded piece of music or career or a Broadway show,
Sure.
forgetting about the road to that
yes.
success.
Yeah.
8 years or something?
8 years. So 1991, I met Steven Sater. We collaborated. He wrote the lyrics for my Nonesuch album, Phantom Moon.
Right.
And during that time, he gave me a copy of a translation of Spring Awakening. He said, read this play, tell me what you think. I think it would make a really cool musical. And of course, at that time in my life, you know, being a recording artist, and I had just made my second record, and it was like, you know, musicals are not cool.
right.
You know, like, Steven, I don't know about this, but, and that was, in a certain way, kind of naive of me. But we both agreed, like, okay, fine, there's a lot of things about musical theater that we don't necessarily love. Let's do something that's different and
Right.
where we're able to kind of create a new way of presenting songs in the context of narrative, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so 1999, we go to La Jolla with Michael Mayer and did our first workshop,
Right.
which was very funny because, like, all of a sudden there were 10 actors there, 10 kids, and Steven and Michael and I. And Michael Mayer was like, all right, Duncan, teach them the songs. And I was like,
teach them the songs. I barely know how to play them myself. Like, I just wrote them. You want me to teach 10 people? I'm not a guitar teacher. Like, I'm not a vocal coach.
Right. I can't tell you what note to sing here.
Right, so, I can't even write it down on a piece of paper for them. So,
Right.
So there were lots of waiting for Guffman moments, that, believe me. So we did La Jolla, we did Sundance Theater Workshop, where that was more kind of, we had gotten our act together a little bit then, but that was like 2000. We did 2 big workshops with the Roundabout. September 11th happened. No one had any money.
Right.
Spring Awakening was dead.
Right.
It was like, so at that point it was like, we had worked for like almost 3 years on this project, and it was like, it's never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So Tom Hulse, the actor who people you may know from of Amadeus
Correct.
fame, he had been a fan of the project, and he was kind of he was our guardian angel, and he organized like a concert version of Spring Awakening at Lincoln Center, which we did in early '05.
Right.
And off the back of that, the Atlantic Theater said, okay, we will do our first musical ever of Spring Awakening. So we were really honored to have Neil Pepe and Andy Hemmingson. We were like, oh, thank you. At least we have a place to do our show. So finally, so this is here we are in 2006. And I remember the moment Stephen Sater and I walked into the theater for the first time at the Atlantic. The sets were up.
Right.
The kids were not in costume yet, but they were doing The Bitch of Living, that particular song. And it was the first day we walked in the theater, and it was the first time we had seen it in any way as theater. The workshops, you learn certain things, but it's just it's very much you're in this horrible room, and they're in front of music stands, and it's like, okay, this could be cool, but who knows?
Right.
But I remember the moment so specifically, like they were performing the song, and they were on the set, and I just elbowed Stephen, and I was like, dude, this is gonna be cool.
Happening.
This is gonna be cool. And then at that point I felt better.
Right.
That because prior to that moment, I was like ready to run for the hills at many times. Because it was.
But the proof is on stage, and the journey. It was worth the journey, I guess, at the end. And
totally. And it's just cool. Like that. Now I've opened myself up to this new medium that for a while I was very badly behaved, and I had an attitude about it. But really, there's a lot of amazing stuff out there.
There really is, yeah.
And it's like any other medium. To me, it's like there's good music, there's good records, and mediocre records, and terrible records that people make. And Broadway is the same way. There's good theater, and there's mediocre theater, and god-awful theater.
Right.
But you just got to find the stuff that's to your taste,
All I can say is go see the show if you're in New York. It's well worth the effort, and
Cool.
if you can get a ticket, good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems to be the... and if you can sit on stage, even more luck. Because that's a great aspect.
That's hard.
Smashing that wall.
Yeah, right, the fourth wall. I mean, in fact, I don't like sitting on stage because sonically it's not as perfect as when you're in the fifth row, let's say. But, however, it's very visceral, and some people like that just because it's like they want to be in on the action.
Right.
So, whatever you're into.
But now you and Stephen are working on the Nightingale, Hans Christian Andersen
Yes,
epic.
yes. So that is a show which James Lapine, who's the director who just did the great King Lear at the Public Theater, and James normally collaborates with Stephen Sondheim. So, and I've only met him a couple times, but we've had lots of exchanges, and we started talking about what the workshop's going to be, and I'm excited about it. We've done 2 workshops already. There's the show exists. I'm sure it will go through 5 million other changes before it's done, but what I can say about it is that there's less masturbation and incest and teenage homosexuality in the Nightingale. So you can bring your 6-year-old to the Nightingale.
Right.
But with Spring Awakening,
there was no drug addiction in Spring Awakening. That was the only theme that you didn't explore.
Didn't get.
You explored everything else.
Well, I'm wondering, did they even? Well, Freud had drugs.
Yeah, didn't they do morphine?
They had morphine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I suppose. Well,
or maybe they drank absinthe.
Absinthe. Yeah.
Absinthe.
Yeah. Well, maybe I can work that into the show.
Sorry to change it up.
Well, you know what? It's fine. I'll do the drugs and they'll do the show.
Do you think we can get you to play something else? Maybe something off the Rounder record?
Yes. Let's do. I will change that guitar tuning all around, and we'll do White Limousine.